How did your battalion commander's ego get soldiers hurt during training? Lieutenant Colonel Braddock arrived at our unit in July, fresh from some desk job at the Pentagon, never deployed, never saw combat, but acted like he'd won every war single-handedly. First week, he called formation, told us we were soft, said real soldiers could handle anything, started planning this massive field training exercise to prove how tough he was. The exercise was scheduled for late August. Arizona desert, temperature forecast showed 115 degrees. Medical officer recommended postponing until September when it cooled down. Braddock laughed in his face. Marines train in this heat all the time, my soldiers can handle it. Problem was, we weren't Marines. We were a logistics unit. 90% of us worked in air-conditioned warehouses. Most hadn't done serious field training in years. My platoon sergeant, a guy named Wade, who'd done 3 combat tours, tried reasoning with Braddock. Sir, we need at least 2 weeks to acclimatize the troops. Get them used to the heat gradually. Braddock shut him down. 2 weeks? My soldiers don't need coddling. We're doing this now. Day 1 of the exercise started at 0600, already 90 degrees. By 10, it hit 105. We were doing forced marches with full packs across open desert. No shade, no breaks. Braddock wanted to impress some general who was visiting next week. Needed footage of tough, hardcore training. Private Dalton went down first, just collapsed mid-step. Face gray, not sweating anymore. Classic heat stroke symptoms. Medics rushed over, started cooling procedures. Braddock drove up in his air-conditioned Humvee. Get him on his feet. We're not stopping for one weak soldier. Wade stepped between Braddock and the medics. Sir, this soldier needs immediate evacuation. His core temperature is dangerously high. He's fine. Pour some water on him and get moving. The medic looked up. Sir, with respect, this is a medical emergency. He needs a hospital now. Braddock's face turned red. Not from heat, from anger. I'm in command here. That soldier will complete this exercise. They evacuated Dalton anyway. Braddock wrote up the medic for insubordination later. We kept marching. Temperature climbed to 112. 3 more soldiers collapsed within an hour. Then 5 more. Then a dozen. The aid station couldn't handle the volume. They were setting up IV lines in the dirt, trying to cool people down with wet towels. Looked like a combat casualty collection point. Braddock still refused to stop. These soldiers are embarrassing this battalion. Real warriors push through discomfort. This wasn't discomfort. This was organ failure. Wade finally had enough. He walked straight up to Braddock's Humvee. Sir, I'm stopping this exercise under my authority as senior medical personnel on scene. Wade wasn't medical personnel. He was a platoon sergeant. Had no authority to stop anything. Braddock climbed out of his vehicle. You're relieved of duty. Report to the rear. Wade didn't move. 17 soldiers need hospital transport. 4 are critical. You can relieve me after we save their lives. Other NCOs started backing Wade. Formed a line between Braddock and the collapsed soldiers. Nobody said anything. Just stood there. Braddock looked around. Realized he was alone. His driver, his aide, even his own command sergeant major had joined the NCOs. This is mutiny, Braddock whispered. Wade shook his head. No, sir. This is leadership. Something you'll never understand. Helicopters evacuated the critical cases. Rest of us loaded into trucks. Exercise was over. 3 soldiers spent a week in intensive care. Kidney damage from heat stroke. 1 needed dialysis for 6 months. Another developed permanent heart problems. The general Braddock wanted to impress showed up 2 days later. Found out what happened. Launched an investigation immediately. Turns out Braddock had ignored not just medical advice but direct orders from brigade. They'd specifically told him to postpone due to heat conditions. He did it anyway. Court-martial took 3 months. Braddock tried claiming the soldiers were weak, that he was building unit toughness. Investigation showed he'd been sitting in an air-conditioned vehicle the entire time while soldiers collapsed around him. He got relieved of command. Kicked out of the army with a letter of reprimand. Lost his pension. Wade got a formal apology from the division commander. Recommended for promotion to sergeant first class. The soldier who needed dialysis, kid named Spencer, eventually recovered. Medical board wanted to discharge him, but he fought to stay in. Last year, Spencer made sergeant, became a drill sergeant at basic training. Now he teaches new soldiers about heat injury prevention. Says he'll never forget the day his commander's ego almost killed him. Uses it as a lesson about what not to do. Wade retired last month, 30 years of service. At his ceremony, 17 soldiers showed up wearing special t-shirts. Had Wade's name on the front and the date of that exercise on the back. Braddock works security at a shopping mall now. Saw him last year during Christmas shopping. He was checking receipts at the exit wearing a yellow vest. He recognized me. Tried to say something. I just walked past.